just talking about anime. Yes, it's important to hear what they say. Argue over waifus throughout night and day. Now that you listen to the Rant Cafe.
Yo, what is happening, people of the internet, and welcome to another episode of the Rant Cafe anime podcast. Today with me, I have the absolute mad lad, Lord D. Brigo himself.
What up, trad lads?
We also have a man, a myth, a legend, an individual who is so badass he has a PhD in political philosophy from... Where do you have it from again?
Oh god, just get on with it, bro.
From Ontario in some amazing place. There. That's where he got it. Anime Uproar. Animac.
Yo, hey guys, great to be here.
And that's it. That's all we have for... No, I'm kidding. We also have Evan. Yay!
Wow! Hi guys, it is me, Evan. I'm not a simp.
It is Evan. He is a simp.
That
But we
sounds
love
like
him
something
anyway.
a simp would say.
Evan, first rule of the internet: don't say I'm not blank if you don't want to be called blank for the rest of your life.
God. Oh no, I messed up.
So hey, Nux, what are we doing today?
Today, we are having a lovely discussion. A discussion that will not cause any hate or bring any unjust punishment upon Brigo. Today, we are talking about the 3-episode rule and why it's sucky.
Well,
For those of you that don't know,
yeah, go
the
ahead.
3-episode rule. The 3-episode rule is a rule that was devised by amazing anime people that were like, yo, bro, you can't say an anime is bad or good until you watch at least 3 episodes of the anime to make a judgment. And, well, that's fine if you want to go by yes. It's a good thing I didn't need to watch 2 more to figure that out. So,
I feel like it's more of a suggestion than a rule, you know?
why
No,
is it a
people are
3-episode
very
rule,
diehard
Evan, not
about
the
it.
3-episode suggestion.
Well, you know, people can't spell suggestions,
that.
so I'm just saying.
I think in general we're just gonna be talking about how to spot a terrible anime, and at what point should you just drop it, or should you actually go with it because someone is like, bro, Hunter x Hunter gets better, keep watching.
I mean, you can never
Never.
tell how good a series will become off of 1 episode or 3 episodes. Like I will never review a series and say this series is like an 8 out of 10 or this series was terrible off watching 1 episode. But off of 1 episode or even 3 episodes, I can definitely drop an anime or decide that it's not for me very easily. I use a 1 episode rule, and what I do is if the series is okay or it catches my interest, I continue to watch. If it's terrible, garbage, or does not interest me in any way off of 1 episode, I drop it.
Yes,
And
I
move on
agree
to
with
something
that.
better.
Because I mean, there is first episodes that are so cringe, like Isekai wa smartphone, trapped in another world with my smartphone. That there was so many. I watched only the first episode. I saw so many cliches, so many things that were wrong and stupid that I was just like, listen, this is not for me. I'm not gonna give it 3 episodes. I'm not gonna give it 2 episodes. I'm dropping this and moving on with my life. Now I know there's like a cult of Isekai wa smartphone fans who are unironic about liking it, and I mean, I wish you well, and I hope you get help, but it was just not for me.
Respect for everything that you just said, except there are no cults of Isekai wa smartphone fans. Let's not try to create these evil organizations that definitely don't exist. Let me just 1 second. Guys, cut out the... Anyway, so back with you. I feel like it's very important to realize when an anime is terrible from the very beginning. And even anime... So, for example, the most obvious case is when it's just purely generic. When it follows, like, the standard tropes that we've seen a million times before and doesn't try anything to push the envelope at all, that's when I kind of know, all right, this is probably going to suck, and I'm going to drop it until someone says, Nux, how did you drop this show? It was actually, like, the greatest show of all time. That's, for the most part, where I stand on the matter of being generic. But as far as just plain bad writing, like, I know a lot of people like Gate. Gate?
Gate without Steins.
Gate without Steins.
Without Steins, just Gate. It's about this portal that opens up in Japan and people travel to an alternate world and there's like waifus and shiz.
I dropped it after like 2 or 3 episodes. So I don't know.
I actually watched all of it, unfortunately. And it was not good at all. It was, in fact, very, very not good. This is my personal opinion because I know a lot of people like Gate, but in hindsight, the first episode was a disaster. And I think that definitely gave clues as to why it was bad. Just like there were so many boring scenes, so many awkward cutscenes, so much like crappy dialogue. There were scenes that didn't even like connect to each other. Like he was running in one place and then he was actually somewhere else. And I feel like the way the first episode of Gate was cut up, that should have been enough for me to be like, all right, I'm out. But I mean,
yeah, it really depends. I feel like it takes time to be even like to like develop an eye that can pick up like off like very like sometimes I'll be 5 minutes into an episode, I'm just like, this is not gonna end up being good. You can just tell by the vibe it emits and the pacing and how the dialogue is going. Obviously, sometimes it depends on who's translating it and how well it's translated as well. Because like I'll watch some One Piece subbed. I'm like, this is fucking like who the hell translated this? And then I watch it like on a different site. Or sometimes the show just doesn't connect with you because of the little direction. Like a little change of direction could change so much.
Can I just
for
say
the
the
5,000 bits ludicrous fund and saying that Evan is a simp? Very
What?
cool.
Not even, no, not even. He said Evan is a sim without the P. So
I want to be a
Ludicrous Funds has such ludicrous funds that he can afford to pay $50 and not even care if he spells it right.
No, he
What
was
an
right.
absolute mad lad.
I'm a sim. I'm living in a virtual world.
Aren't we all, though?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Evan, what's a really crappy first episode of a show you've seen?
Wizard Baristas. So like that first episode of that show, in fact, like the trailer for that show shows this incredible action sequence, which is like maybe like 45 seconds long. And that action sequence happens in the first episode of the show. And then the rest of the show is literally about the lawyers of wizards. And it's just you watching them try to get these wizards out of crimes that they committed because like apparently you're not allowed to use magic or whatever. It's a terrible show. No one should ever watch it. I finished the damn thing and I hated it.
I find it interesting that you've mentioned that because like I started an anime that a lot of people told me to watch called The K Project. And have any of you seen it?
I thought it was all right. Nothing special.
What does the K stand for?
Just I don't know, like the Ku Klux Klan or something.
No!
Anyway, so that was the joke. Don't. Okay. Anyway, so the K Project, I felt like it was a very basic, average, surface level anime. It was okay. It was not special, but I remember after watching the first episode, and the animation was gorgeous. There was like a fight scene between like the red guys and the blue guys for like a solid 10 minutes of the first episode, and it was all that fight. And I remember I was like, bruh, it looks beautiful, but get this some meat and potatoes. And they didn't get to meat and potatoes in the first episode. And I feel like that kind of summed up what the whole K Project felt like. I mean, a lot of it was very flashy and nice on the surface level, but I didn't get any depth in that show. And I feel like that first episode kind of encompassed that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but one I would say that was fairly recent. Isekai Cheat Magician.
It was just
so
generic.
Yeah, that was an anime exactly. I saw the first episode. I'm like, bruh, this is the most generic shit. The only difference is his childhood friend, who's a girl, gets isekai'd with him. Everything else is so generic. The power system is clearly absolute cringe. So I saw the one episode and I was like, nope.
Unlike the power system from our isekai light novel that we're working on, which is not cringe at all, but in fact, fantastic.
Well, I hope this is not sarcasm because it will be.
Oh yeah, baby! No cringe whatsoever! Sorry in advance, Evan.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not cringe. That's pure, like, gold.
That's comedic wit and genius.
Do you guys remember God Eater from Ufotable?
Good call, Briggs.
Dude,
yes.
I love how many people are trying to tell me that like you can't judge an anime off one episode. I could judge God Eater off 40 seconds. That shit was garbage.
God Eater. So here's the thing. there were a bunch of anime that came out right at. So you know how Sword Art Online kind of turbocharged the whole isekai craze because it got so popular. Attack on Titan turbocharged this craze about this crazy post-apocalyptic world where it's up to like the 6 survivors to like do crazy shiz. Like there was Attack on Titan, there was Seraph at the End, there was God Eater, there was Cabaneri, the Iron Fortress, and they all came out like within a year from each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're just trying to cash, I feel like Seraph at the End added something to the idea. But when it came to Cabaneri, the Iron Fortress, and God Eater, they didn't even try to switch up the formula. It was just like, okay, so it's not Titans, it's zombies. Or, okay, so it's not Titans, it's giant robot, freaking amalgamations of different dinosaurs. And I feel like we got nothing past that. Again, it was the most generic possible show in that setting you could think of. And it's a great call because for the first episode, we got nothing new.
You gotta bring something to the table. Like if you're lacking on copying a premise, you gotta bring entertaining characters. Like
yes,
for example, in Black Clover, you gotta be yelling the whole.
And yet, because the characters are good and the storytelling has good pacing and good fights with strategy and teamwork, it actually ends up being a great shonen, which I wasn't expecting because when I first heard of it, I was like, oh man, this has so many like tropes that have been overused. No way, this is gonna be good.
Actually, I guess the Black Clover anime is a good example because after I read the manga, like going into the anime, and after watching the first episode, I'm like, okay, this isn't worth my time. So maybe in that case, I'd be wrong. But they actually started changing the direction because of how hard people complained. Like the yelling was just too annoying, and like they really calmed down later on.
To be honest, I didn't mind the yelling, but I think it's because I'm used to Nux. So I've been desensitized.
I hear that.
I
didn't even know. I didn't even notice the yelling, people. But that said,
you're like Alsta's the only one that talks normally in the whole show.
Why is everyone else so quiet? Why are they all whispering? No, when I started Black Clover, I did want to give it a chance because I heard great things about the manga, and I don't know, I gave it like 20 episodes or something, and they were still in that Diamond arc, when they were fighting the Diamond guys right in the beginning in the dungeon. Like, I'd say. The first really, truly great arc was with Gauche and the mirrors and...
Actually, I have no clue if the anime actually got better because I watched the first episode. I think I watched the second and they started doing a backstory and it was so slowly paced. Literally, there was no way that had to be almost a full episode, if I recall correctly.
Do you know that the first 3 episodes of the anime is the first 1 chapter of the manga?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Which is a good sign.
Asinine.
Which is why I probably dropped it and just read the manga instead.
Which was a good call.
Yeah. Clearly, my 1 episode rule still applies.
There we go. Boom.
I watched the first 24 episodes of Black Clover, and I feel like around episode 24 is where it started to get good for me. So I definitely gave it more of a chance than I should have. And honestly, I probably should have just dropped it after the first episode.
I love Black Clover right now, and I love apprehensive of certain storylines. I used to be a lot more into just starting every sports anime because almost every single one starts with this one kid who had a dream, but he'll never be able to reach his dream. And then it actually turns out he's pretty epic or something like that. So, I mean, I used to watch all of them, but now if you have that generic storyline with no characters that catch my eye within the first episode, I will probably not give it a chance until Briggs eventually puts me in a headlock and forces me to watch it.
Pretty much. But that's it's the same thing that applied to Attack on Titan. I guess because we've seen so many anime, we see the same story as something else, a very similar premise. What else are you bringing to the table to make it worth my time? And if you're just copying the premise for views, this is a sports anime that someone's gonna pick up, like you did, Nux. You have to have interesting characters or some amazing choreographed I guess moments. If it's a sport. All right, I thought that first episode was fucking disgusting.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm just used to the hate at this point. I really don't care. But the second episode was a little bit better. But I feel like between the first and second episode, it's pretty easily for me to say that I might as well just read the manhwa at this point. Not only in the first episode did I think the main obviously from my perspective, the main character is so boring and lacks emotion, and I understand it's coming from a place of his backstory. But if you're gonna have a boring protagonist, like I said prior, you have to bring something to the table. And to me, the first episode brought close to nothing to the table. So what is it? What is there to make me watch the second episode? Other than a bunch of fanboys screaming at me, the manga was amazing, guys. The manga was so good. It gets so good later on. Any thoughts?
When I started it, I immediately agreed with you as far as the adaptation goes. I was not a fan of the way God is the fact that it isn't a generic storyline. It's the fact that it's something I haven't seen before, and I love an interesting fantasy setting that'll get me to think. A lot of people are saying that this whole tower. I've heard two comparisons, both of which are extremely fascinating. One, that it's like the Hunter exam, like with each floor being like a different floor, different level, different layer to the Hunter exam. And also that the Tower of God's world building is so good that it's like One Piece tier. Now, I don't necessarily believe that, especially the latter take, but I am interested enough to definitely continue because I'm interested. I'm interested in the fantasy aspect of
I
it.
think the only thing
as far
I'm
as the
interested
adaptation, though, I agree with you.
I think the only thing I'm interested in so far is the actual tower itself and what's to come with the world. But from what I hear, it's actually a pretty like generic hero's journey.
To me, I
have no idea what it is. I'm just interested enough to keep trying because it's intriguing as far as the world building goes.
I've only seen the anime, not the manga.
That
Or
is
the
all. I agree
manhwa.
with you as far as the adaptation. If it would be done by Studio Madhouse, I would be happy.
I went as far as like, cause like people were just like going crazy in my comment section trying to like try to explain things. I'm just like, I didn't get that impression off. Annoyed the shit out of me because it was cringe because he has a nice face. And I feel like in the manhwa, you could kind of understand where Yuri's coming from a little bit more. So I think it's a failure on the adaptation. Cringe throughout it, like what is there to make me watch the second episode other than the community telling me to?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay. Because I had disconnected.
Just got 5,000 bits from Henry Donut, who said just got to Bakugo's death in the manga. This is so sad. Yes.
Thank you for the money and.
As far as Tower of God, I could be wrong. Maybe it'll be just a very bad story. I don't know, but I'm interested in the world. And as far as the adaptation, I don't think it will prove me wrong. I think the adaptation is poor.
Okay, well, I've only seen the anime.
But anyway, we
Nux.
haven't heard from Animac in like 15
Nux.
minutes. He probably fell asleep.
No, I actually had disconnected from the internet and then tried to.
Do you guys
come back
hear
in.
him, or is it just me that can't hear him?
Ducks can't.
You're
You
talking
can't hear
over
him.
him, but I feel like you're just
You're
trolling
talking
him at
over
this
him.
point. I don't know.
Can't hear the man. This is
Oh, no.
terrible.
Why
I
does
hate
it
when
always
Discord
happen
does
with you?
this.
Yeah,
I don't
why
know.
did-
Give me a sec.
Just tell Nux to disconnecting. Yeah, this is what happens with Discord, guys, when you record.
Hey,
through Discord.
Animac's back!
Okay, Nux. Now let me talk, man. Anyway, I've only seen the anime so far of Tower of God. I haven't seen read the webtoon or manhwa, whatever. And I like the anime. I don't know. I think you guys are being too rough on it. I personally wasn't an optimist about it being a Crunchyroll original. You know, I was like, this can't possibly be as good as High Guardian Spice. Like that shit was fire. But so I wasn't that optimistic, and the animation didn't look great to me. And people were like, "Oh, it's based on the webtoon," and I'm like, "I don't care what it's based on. It doesn't look great." But actually, now that I've seen the first 3 episodes, I enjoy it. I like the premise of this tower. It reminds me of the Tower of Babel from the Bible, right? I like the aspect of there's a clear goal, kind of like in One Piece. There's the One Piece, right? And we're looking for it. And the tower is that. And there's all these different levels. And like, what is this world about? Why can't they see the sky?
What if I told you that the One Piece was the friends they made along the way?
Yeah, that would be great. Also, Yuri Ha is an epic tsundere. Love the chick. I am definitely into her. I don't care. I would love for her to give me a sword based on my pretty face. I don't care. Great character. So I'm definitely interested in it so far. I think that some of the characters that we've already met, like Lizard Girl, have the potential to be really cool. And I'm actually quite enjoying the anime so far. I don't know why you guys are so disappointed. I don't have anything to compare it to in terms of the webtoon, but I'm definitely digging it.
I feel like I'm just forcing myself to watch it for other people.
My only disappointment is comparing it to the webtoon.
No, my disappointment's with like everything, honestly. Like obviously when I compare it to the webtoon, I'm like, okay, like maybe I'll actually just read the manhwa and enjoy this way more, which is what I'm gonna do going forward. But like off of the first 2 episodes that I watched, I like had to pull myself through that shit. And I tried to rewatch the first episode to see like
in the second episode there was no point that I was bored.
There was no point you were bored? Dude, that test was so prolonged. You think that
wasn't so bad.
when I read that in the manhwa, you think that should have been a full episode?
In my defense, I did watch it at 2 times speed.
See? Try watching that at normal speed and being like, huh? This is a full fucking episode?
I only watch really good anime in normal speed. If it's a that if it's not a fantastic anime, I will not watch it in normal speed.
I will say that the second episode's better than the first episode, although that says close to nothing because the first episode was garbage.
Bro,
I
the
will-
first
I will-
episode had Yuri Ha.
I can't wait to see the comment section of this Rant Cafe. It's gonna be amazing.
I think this has become another Todoroki thing for you, where you just irrationally hate on it for the memes.
I don't think I'm very irrational at all about Todoroki. He's a garbage character.
Anyway, you know you're irrational about it, but there's a lot of people talking about best girl in Tower of God, and she's
Bro,
hot.
you only like her because she's hot. That doesn't
No,
make a good wife.
She's hot, but she's also like. There's something about her personality because she gave him that sword for some reason. She said it was just based on his face, which itself would be hilarious, but it isn't just that. We know it's not just that. There's something else. And she's like this princess, but she's defying the rules. She wasn't supposed to give him the sword. Like, there's something there, man. Trust me. Yuri Ha.
Her MILF senses are tingling.
I feel like the first episode was already like way too like slow and weird for me, and the only thing I really liked about it was the music, and like I was sort of interested in the rest of the world. Then I started watching episode 2, and I was like, this just feels long, and I just stopped halfway through it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to keep watching this show.
Oh God, you too.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's
Tower of God?
yeah, Tower of God.
I love you, Evan. No, I'm kidding.
Finally.
He's like, no, I'm kidding. No one loves Evan.
You know what the funny thing is though? Like episode 2 was the one that I'm like, okay, maybe this might like. I didn't like it, but like at least it was like watchable for me. That first episode, I struggled.
Bro, why? It's interesting. Like, they're going up this tower. They can get any wish they want on top. Why? What is this tower about?
Whoa, he wants Rachel. Isn't that
Yeah, he
sweet?
wants Rachel. That seems like all he wants right now.
Yeah, but I'm not in it just for Bam. Like, we'll find out about him, and he's a simp. That's 100%
Like,
true.
why should
And
I care about this dude that just wants Rachel?
Don't you relate to
like, you
him?
don't
to
have
some
to care.
level, Evan?
Because there's other characters you can care about. You got Kun, you got Lizard Lolly, you got Yuri Ha.
You know, when Rack's the best character introduced so far, that says a lot about the series.
Nah, fam. The kid
just
with
'cause he's a
blue hair
mindless
is best
chat.
character
Oh, I
so
mean-
far.
I mean, Kun did intrigue me a little bit. I feel like there's something going on with him where he's gonna like turn on everyone and fuck everyone over.
He did kind of give off Killua vibes a little bit.
He did.
Yeah.
Adam Mac, I'm so happy you're in the Chimera Ant arc and you just saw the goddamn amazing Phantom Troop episodes. Huge respect.
Yeah, I was afraid Phantom Troop wasn't gonna show up again now that we were in the Chimera Ant arc, so I'm glad they're being used again, bro. It's over. He's like, okay, I'm leaving. And then he left.
Oh, but Hisoka's reaction to seeing him without powers.
Yeah.
Oh, that was like the greatest thing ever. Though.
Yeah, so for me, the whole first arc, the Hunter Test arc, was pretty lackluster. Like, I stopped watching.
Really, I
Hunter
very
x
much
Hunter.
enjoyed the first arc. I will say that like
Yeah.
the first couple episodes, as they approached the test or the exam,
Yeah.
was a
Like
little
I like
bit
the
was a little bit slow, but I feel like it did its job. Like I mentioned in my video, like is it amazing? Did I know it was going to become the juggernaut that it is? Not really, but like it wasn't bad. They introduced Gon. We kind of got a feeling of like the type of person Gon is, what he wants to achieve. We even got Leorio and Leorio and Kurapika in the first
Yes.
episode, and I'm like, okay, Leorio is cool. Kurapika like caught my interest. I feel like there's more going on with this character, and then like that was just off the first episode, so I don't think it was enough to make me drop it.
Dude,
know,
I think
yeah,
the first
to me-
episode of Hunter x Hunter was enough to get me continuing. Absolutely.
It
Yeah.
did its
So
job to
I don't
make us
know, man.
watch the
To
second
me,
episode.
it went from mediocre to great, like 40 episodes in. Before that, I was just like, yeah, it's all right.
really 40. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like
I would
around,
say
like,
until the York new arc, until the Phantom Troop arc, it was a good shonen. It was good, but that's when it went from good to great. That
Yeah.
arc's like a 10 out
yeah,
of 10
no,
arc.
I agree.
Yes,
So, and until
exactly.
there were all like 8s, let's say.
And the only reason I kept watching is because you kept harassing me to keep watching.
And you had to do something on your stationary bike.
Mm-hmm. Oh no,
Yes.
I still love how Briggs says Killua's name like the drink Kahlua.
I know, I think of it every single time.
Do I really say it that bad? I get comments about that
Yes.
all the time.
I know.
Is it
But we've tried to
Killua?
help you, but we can't. We tried.
No, it's Killua versus Kahlua.
So
Like-
Kahlua
Alright,
is
Briggs.
right? I'm
Riggs,
kidding.
last try, okay? His name literally is Kill. Kill.
UA? Kill UA? I'm
Yeah,
a kill
UA.
UA.
Kun?
What? No. No.
Oh wait, we're not talking about Tower of God. Killua?
Killua.
Oh! It's Kill-wa. How's that? Try that.
Killua.
Killua.
There we go. That was
Nice.
Good.
Close enough.
Nice. He'll forget it in 5 minutes. Anyway, thank you to Sam the Gunman for some magical crystals.
Magical crystals. I'm continuing. I just don't like the adaptation. I think the webtoon would be great. Hey, 3,000 bits
Thank you,
from Henry Donut. Oh, again, damn.
Miruko is
best
best
bunny girl,
bunny,
not Carrot.
I wouldn't know who
Fact.
Carrot is.
I think
so.
Carrot is an overrated character. I'm glad Tech King's not here because he defends that chick.
I mean, she's cute, but like, I'm not a huge fan.
Oh, if she joins, I will be so sad.
I've heard that Carrot is a One Piece person, right?
Yes.
But I'm not up to that point yet. However, I have seen a picture of Carrot, and Miruko is far more attractive, which is the only.
What am I talking about? Carrot is attractive.
Even Nux, who usually will go with anything to troll me, is like, Evan, what the fuck are you?
He's trying to troll me.
I was about to say, like, let's not judge them by look. Let's talk about personality. That's pretty judgmental. But Evan, what the hell are you talking about?
Okay, all right. See, I love my
Man,
friend.
I am fully on Animax side on this one.
Oh,
I don't know.
my God. You know what? It's fine.
I didn't even read the newest arc of the My Hero Academia manga. I'm waiting for it to end, and then I'm gonna binge the whole thing. And I already like Mirko more than this Carrot.
Okay, Mirko has thighs, all right, and I like me some
Bro,
thighs.
her
Both of
thighs will
Carrot's thighs
literally kill
combined
you.
can't even fit in one of Mirko's knee stocking things.
Henry just donated 2,000 bits to tell Evan to shut up and that he's a simp. So,
What?
Guys,
thank you.
I know this is only a bit of a spoiler, but Miruko can literally murder a villain with her thighs. Literally.
Bruh, Carrot can't do that.
You know
Get out
what?
of here, Evan. Also, isn't Karen like 12 or something?
Wait, what? No.
Alright.
You know when anime has a terrible first episode? One Piece.
I was gonna say One Piece.
Well, I don't know, because you get the Gold Roger stuff, which is an interesting hook.
Oh, you don't, Animac. That's the first chapter. The first chapter of One Piece is gold. The first episode, he shows up in the barrel. And then he fights with Alvida. That's the first episode.
Then maybe I'm only thinking of the 4Kids one because they say the Gold Roger thing right at the intro.
You mean the best anime intro ever? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
say
they
it in
have
the
that intro. It's true.
You want
but
my
they don't-
treasure? You can have it. I left everything I gathered together in one place. Now you just have to find it.
Yeah, so you get that hook, which is like, yo, treasure.
Treasure.
You know, they're gonna look for a treasure, so that is like a cool goal. Like, you know, I gotta climb the tower, I gotta find the treasure. It is something that it gets your interest right away, and I think a lot of stories can really hook you like that, and then if they continue to be good, it shows a lot of promise. Whereas, you know, there can be...
Yeah. And I feel like even though it wasn't a good episode, especially when comparing, or like the start of One Piece isn't like all that great, especially when comparing to the start of the manga, I don't think it's absolutely terrible. I think what people are doing is they see how good it gets, the show, and they're like, wow, that start wasn't very good, or that first episode wasn't very good, and then it's like, well, if you use a one episode rule, you should have dropped One Piece. And while I would say it's not amazing, and I didn't know it was going to become the amazing series that it is, I don't think it was terrible either. Like, we got to see Luffy and an interesting power. We got an okay fight. We got to see a contrast between him and Kobe. Kobe being this, like, whiny character who has dreams but is too scared to go after them, while Luffy is so simple-minded and so straightforward that he's the type of guy who's like, I'm going to become the king of the pirates, no matter what, even though it's this impossible goal. And you see that it motivates Kobe. And then even at the end of the episode, you get this little cliffhanger, or this little thing that they show off. You see Zoro on the in the courtyard hung up. So, like, I still think it was a decently structured episode. It's only really when comparing it to the rest of the series, and especially the start of the manga, where I'm like, that wasn't that good.
What did you guys think about the My Hero Academia first episode?
I liked it. I liked the first episode. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, My Hero Academia, like, it wasn't terrible, but it only got good in that the first season only got good at the end when the villains attack. For me,
I feel
before
like
that,
it got
I was
good
like,
about episode 6. When we had Deku versus Bakugo in the training arc, and Deku actually won, I was like, yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, no, I'm
I like-
I'm more with like Nux on that one. Like, I feel like it got good around that point too, because like the first episode for me, I was like, okay, it feels like it wants to be more like a Tiger and Bunny type show, and I was like, you know what? There's like a hole in my heart since Tiger and Bunny didn't get a next season, so I was like, you know what? I'll watch this.
Mobile in the chat says first episode was fire. I mean, I
yeah,
don't know
see,
about
it
fire.
didn't hook me. I was like, I don't see what all the hype is about, because when I watched it, people had already been recommending it forever. The whole first season was out. But then the final arc, when in the USJ arc, when the villains attack, that's when I was like, yo, this is epic. But before that, I
didn't get epic vibes at that point either. I thought it was great. I thought it was good. I would have never said epic. I really started falling in love with the series. I'd say from Deku versus Todoroki in the tournament until the end of the Stain arc, I think that little run right there at the end of season 2, I was like, bruh, this is good shiz!
Yeah,
and then I started reading the manga.
What happened in the first episode of My Hero Academia? I can really not remember.
Well, you get the introduction to Deku, and then he tries to save
Bakugo
Oh,
from the
I didn't
Bakugo
like
Stain.
and
the-
meets All Might.
I wasn't a big fan
Yeah.
of the first episode, but I guess
was okay.
The second episode is do we get the scene with the training montage?
No, you fell in love by the training montage?
What?
Get
Bro, I'm a
outta
fucking
here.
Shad. What do you expect?
He just sees someone training and he gets it.
I made an AMV on that. It was terrible.
Although,
We
what
should
I
all-
do preferred Bungo Stray Dogs to My Hero Academia, not gonna lie, even at this point, Bungo Stray Dogs.
Speaking of, like, this is off topic, but some of the best first episodes that I can think of right now are Attack on Titan, One Punch Man, and Sword Art Online.
Sword Art
I would
Online
say-
had a really good first episode.
Yeah, bro. After
so
Sword Art
good.
Online first episode, I was like, this is going to be the greatest shit I've ever seen. And it was, guys.
Naruto, best black swordsman, guys.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yo,
Squad.
what's the reason behind, like, this guy trapping them all? This is crazy. I'm sure there's, like, a compelling philosophical reason, bro. Perhaps even related to political philosophy.
I don't really remember why I trapped y'all.
Actually, I would say that. All right, I'm not going to get into my theories as to why Kayaba's in fact not as bad of a villain as everyone says.
He's a
Because, I have no
third-rate
patience.
villain with a fourth-rate premise.
Oh, the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh, though.
I will say
Like,
that...
dude, Grandpa had a blue eyes, and then
Bro.
Kaiba took it and tore it, which gave Grandpa a heart attack.
See, first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh is a good example as to what a first episode should be to get you hooked to watch the rest of the show.
I will say that Kayaba was probably the type of dude to pay for OnlyFans.
What do you mean? He probably owned the company.
No.
Ludicrous Fun 2000. Me, everything I needed to know about business. All you really need to do to turn like $1,000 into $1 million or however much it was when he did it is you buy 51% of a company, you threaten them to close the company unless they give you 10 times the amount. And then they'll be like, okay, anything. And then they give you 10 times the amount. And there
Yeah,
you
that
go. You
definitely
made 10
works.
times your money in one day.
Yep.
Kaiba was such a mad lad.
Promise Neverland episode 1. Thank you, Chad. That was quite amazing.
Promise Neverland episode 1 was amazing. We should do an episode on the best episode 1s now that we've
Yes, that is cool. Like, we could even do a whole bracket. I'm sure there's enough.
Yeah.
What other anime that had terrible first few episodes?
I would argue, I mean, Gintama's first 3 episodes were filler, which is the saddest thing in the world because there's almost no filler in Gintama.
Who starts a series with filler?
I don't know.
What were they
Some guy was
thinking?
like, I'm just as funny as the guy that wrote this show. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
last, he was not.
Death Note, the first 2 episodes.
Two
If you don't get
episodes.
hooked
Death
by
Note, you need
that,
2 episodes.
if you don't get hooked by the first 2 episodes of Death Note, fuck you.
Dude,
yeah, but
I'll
you
never
need- you
forget
need
watching
2
that
episodes.
second episode for the first time and just
The first episode of Furumeture Arukumistu Brotherhood was bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, but it was pretty bad.
it was pretty
Because it was one of the greatest adaptations ever, but they started it with filler. I don't get it.
Wasn't
Because
the first episode with Trisha? Or no, am I mixing
Oh, that
up?
was the original Furumeture Arukumistu. Furumeture Arukumistu Brotherhood started with the freezing alchemist guy who was making this big transmutation circle over the whole city.
Oh yeah. But that did give us some world building and explaining the power system, though.
I
So
felt
this
like
is
you didn't
that
need to
way.
start with that. You should have
Well-
started like the original Furumeshi Alchemist.
Okay, but Nux, the only reason you think it's terrible is because you're comparing it to the original Furumeshi
Yes,
Alchemist.
my theory is like they did it differently so that like the original fans wouldn't be like, oh, you're just remaking the same show, I'm not gonna watch it. So they had something different at the start, so people would be like, oh, it's different.
Yeah. They almost assumed that people watching Brotherhood had already seen the original.
Yeah.
And they rushed through a lot of the backstory stuff.
I watched the original first, and then the moment I finished the original, I just jumped right into Brotherhood.
Same.
Yeah,
That's how
I had the pleasure of watching the original as it aired, and then I had to wait years, like 6 years before
You
Brotherhood.
watched the original in 2003?
Bro, I was watching anime back then.
Dude, he's been simping since
you
day
really
one.
are a simp.
Wow.
What?
Also, you
What
didn't
do you
realize
mean
I'm a
you
lot
should-
older than all the rest of you.
This guy should get like credit for this, and you're calling him like.
I
this is
know.
just not fair.
It's amazing.
Like
I love
whenever
we both
Evan's
went
on
to
the
that.
podcast, it's like bizarre.
All good stuff.
What other ones that are like? I'm trying to think of some recent ones, but the problem is with me, I don't watch a lot of crap anime because I'm not like, some of our good friends, Recon, who will just watch anything that's currently airing. I watch stuff that people are like, bro, you have to watch this 5 currently airing anime and decide which one I'll keep watching. Kakegurui, I will say, did not impress me in the first 1 to 3 episodes, and I ended up dropping it because even though it was insane with the memes and stuff, like the gun in the bathroom, like that was just like wow. It was also like it felt cringe. It felt like weird camera shots forcing fan service, and I love fan service if it's done properly and fits the story. But Kakegurui seemed to just be so contrived. But it ended up being a huge meme, and everyone cosplays it and shit.
I honestly don't even remember if I finished it. I watched at least like 7 or 8 episodes.
Well, if you don't remember. If you
Yeah, I don't
finished
remember.
it.
It's been a long time. I watched it while it aired. Like dumb.
Yes, exactly. So it was like almost trying to be like something like Death Note or JoJo's with the card episode and stuff, but just not doing it for me.
Yeah, I agree. It fell flat a couple times.
Yeah, and that's why it was just like I get what they're going for, and yeah, some of these girls are pretty good yandere characters, but otherwise, it doesn't grind my gears. I don't think I'm using that expression right, but anyway.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Basically, I think 1 episode is all you really need for this 3-episode rule. And if people are actually saying it's great and you should go back to it, you could just go back to it, and that's it.
I think to sum it up, if you guys don't like the 3-episode rule, take the 1-episode suggestion. Just saying.
There was Jimbo in the chat said Steins Gate had a really slow start, and it's been so long since I watched Steins Gate that I don't remember. Would you guys agree with that?
I would disagree with that.
I would 100% disagree with that.
About Steins Gate is the first episode was amazing. It was a roller coaster. It ended on a huge cliffhanger. It was a big twist. It was fantastic. The first 12 episodes overall, he goes to that conference place and he meets what's her name? Kurisu.
Yeah.
And all of a
we're talking
sudden,
about Steins
time
Gate.
shiz starts happening.
I'm back.
Steins Gate.
I thought Steins Gate had a good first episode. Are
Had a
you?
great first episode.
Oh, okay, good. Because obviously when I was making fun of Tower of Sin, people just listed a bunch of anime with apparently that had bad first episodes in an attempt to prove me wrong and say you can't judge a series off its first episode. But I thought Steins Gate had a great first episode. Okabe was very interesting and quirky. I thought he was fun.
Yeah,
Time
I
travel
loved him
intrigued
right
me.
away.
And it ended off in a sick twist with Maki dying and then coming back.
Bruh.
It literally
yes.
sets up the entire series.
It was great. I love the first episode. Hey, Donut donated 2,000 bits to say Interspecies Reviewers episode 1. Yes.
I'm just saying that perhaps some of us guys here should do a live reaction / review of each episode of Interspecies Reviewers at some point.
I don't think we could do that on Twitch, but you know.
we might do it in
I don't think
another
you can
way.
do that on YouTube either.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. You know what? If Haruhi Suzumiya, if you haven't seen it, if you watch it
Pronounce
like
it
with
Suzumiya.
Suzumiya?
Suzumiya,
Right. Sure. Anyway.
Okay.
I think it's pronounced Suzumiya. I don't think it's Suzumiya.
Look, the English dub says Suzumiya, okay?
Yeah, because the dubs suck. Don't watch dubs.
Well, you know, well, I watch dubs. Screw you.
Now you're simping for
No.
dubs.
Wait.
And now you're simping to anime.
But actually, I watched it in chronological order because I watched it after it aired. But it
What?
aired
You
completely.
watched it in chronological order?
Yeah, so I aired it in I watched it in chronological order because I don't know, probably it was listed like that or on the list where I watched it. But it actually aired completely out of whack in terms of time.
Yeah.
So maybe someone who saw the first episode out of context would be like, "What the fuck is this?"
I liked it from the first episode. I thought the first episode was great. It made me really like Kon and Haruhi, and there were a lot of other weird characters that just showed up.
Yeah, no, I think the first episode of The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya was actually pretty great.
Splendid
Okay.
Shinobi donated $10 to say Code Geass episode 1 was neat. Also, Evan is a simp.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Code Geass had a great start.
Kogias had a great start.
Oh yeah, bro. Handshakers.
If anything gives the vibe of drop this show as quickly as fucking possible, it's Handshakers.
Dude, I was making... Handshakers was back, like, I don't remember how many subscribers I had, but, like, I
Yeah,
don't
this
know,
was like
not a lot of
2016
digits.
or 17.
And I wanted to make a sarcastic anime trailer because I used to do that shiz. I wanted to make a sarcastic anime trailer on Handshakers so badly because I saw the trailer. And I was like, I'm going to sit through this whole anime just to make the sarcastic anime trailer. And then after the first episode, I was like, you know what? I have enough material to make a sarcastic anime trailer just on the first episode.
It was so bad. It was so trash.
Handshakers was amazingly terrible.
I was honestly
Off so strong though. Started off so great. It's like there's this dude with the most CGI crowd of all time, and he's just like walking around. He walks into a room, he sees a girl like just lying on a bed, so he holds her hand, and then someone just pops in out of nowhere. If you ever let go of her hand, you will both die. And he's like, no. Ultimate twist.
Yo, Daniel Frozing donated 1,000 bits to say first episode of Keijo. Said if he said it was amazing or terrible, he just said first episode of Keijo.
Okay, well, if you think it's bad, take your money back, bro. Because
Can't. I already have it.
that is dirty
We
money.
already have it.
That is dirty
Offer a
money.
refund. He doesn't want it.
I only want cultured money. What was the one anime about like a robot, like Clockwork Planet or something? Was it that?
Oh, Clockwork Planet first episode was also so bad.
Yeah,
And I
he,
can't
like,
believe. Remember
puts
when we
his
used
hand
to actually
inside her?
watch all the seasonal anime?
yeah, when we were like chilling with Recon.
We used to watch all the seasonal anime. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like I don't know.
Also
He puts his hand inside. Oh no, she licks his finger. Was it? She sucks on his finger or something.
Yeah.
The robot chick.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of those seasonal anime that I watched one episode and I was like, never again.
Dude, I've probably done that so many times and cannot remember the name of the anime back when I used to watch seasonal anime. Now I do kind of more like what Animec does, and it's kind of, I don't know, we're just really busy nowadays, so I feel like we'll just watch what has been really hyped up.
Yeah, because when people tell us this is really good, I'll watch it, but I'm not gonna watch all that seasonal stuff. Especially since we're not that type of YouTuber. Like we're not the type of people that are like, hey, we watched all the anime and we're gonna recommend what you should watch. That's not what we do. So
And I made a video recently, just like 7 new anime you should watch. It just 7 new anime that I've been
I am
watching
really
recently.
glad
It's
that
so
I,
random, and it did just as
deserves similar amounts of respect for its
I don't think it
classy.
deserves. I don't think
classy,
it's in
canonical
the same,
fan
It's not in the
service.
same league.
I think
Dude,
it
it's
is.
not in the same
it's
league.
no, but it is in the same league of ecchi that know exactly what they're doing. They embrace it and they have great humor and fun with it.
But this is how can you compare? I agree it was fun, it was a good time, but it didn't tackle the beautiful social politics and social commentary of interspecies reviewers, bro.
Yes, but
Interspecies
Keijo
reviewers-
has like 7 exclamation marks in the title.
Okay, I take it back. You're right.
Like no, like you're right. I think that interspecies reviewers has a lot more social commentary, and it's funny because it got pulled from everywhere. So that also
The
kind of
characters
adds.
are much better. Like I don't
adds
remember
to
a
the
single
hype.
character's name in Keijo. but I remember so many characters in Interspecies Reviewers.
But I just think that Keijo's humor is top notch, and it is that type of over the top, etchy humor. Knows what it's doing, isn't ashamed of it, isn't overdoing it. It's doing it exactly the way I like it. So I think Keijo deserves respect, and if you don't, you're a simp.
All right, speaking of like ecchi, that I think did a great job and had a good first episode, I feel like it'd be a shame not to talk about Food Wars.
Yeah, but the first episode of Food Wars was good.
The first episode was good, yeah.
No, people were just talking about it in chat, so I feel like it was
Hey,
worth
cut out for
mentioning.
me. I didn't hear what you said.
I'm just saying a good ecchi with a good start, Food Wars.
Yeah.
In the first episode, we
Food
learned
Wars.
they gave us a good representation of what the series is going to be about.
I agree.
And it does tackle.
But I feel like
fan
Food Wars
service
got
in
a
very
lot better.
similar Part. It does. It just keeps on getting better.
Henry Donut donated 2,000 magical crystals to say first episodes of Rants and Energy Kyoka. Haven't seen Rants, but I definitely agree. Energy Kyoka first episode will change your life, bro. Sadly, it only has 2 episodes, but it deserves more.
What would you say? Would you say episode 1 was good as far as the whole show? Like, was episode 2 just as good as episode 1?
Well, episode 2, like the very last, the ending part, kind of threw me off. But otherwise, it's great.
It's a cliffhanger episode on a Gentai. Yeah, that's right, people.
Do you know what the ending was, Nux? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no.
Yeah. You'd probably like it.
Nux doesn't watch Gentai.
I've never seen one in my life.
Resort Boen is a classic. Yes, it is good, sir. I mean, what's that, you idiots? I don't know.
Anyway, point is, if the first episode sucks, the rest probably sucks too. So go to listen to my personal anime recommendations to know what's objectively good and what isn't. Thank you for coming, people. 'Twas a pleasure. With us today, once again, we got Animac, the man with the political philosophy degree from Anime Uproar. We have the Chad D lad himself, Brigo, the Briganator, also known as Ragnar in some circles. And we also have Evanito. Some people call him Simpanito, but they don't know what they're talking about.
No, I have a degree in computer animation and visual effects. If anyone cares.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to make that a meme though.
Okay.
Yeah, because that could be actually useful as opposed to political philosophy. So can't be a meme.
Right, Evanito with a degree in feet pics.
What? No,
Absolute
that's
mad
like
lad.
the worst thing.
Tell me, Evan, tell me that you don't have pictures of Carrot's feet on your computer.
Why would I not have pictures of carrots?
Exactly. That's my point. But definitely, guys, follow Evanito on Twitter and on YouTube. He's a quality lad.
Thank you for having me, guys. As always.
Thank you all so much for coming. 'Twas awesome. Apex boys!
Apex boys!
And until next
Have
time,
yourselves
see
a
ya,
wonderful
Space
evening. Remember to
Cowboys.
stay weird.
You guys gotta let one of you guys gotta do the outro. Figure out what the fuck's going on.
As
All
happened
right,
2
Evan,
weeks in a
do the
row.
outro.
do the outro.
Evan, do the outro.
Where they stream live on Twitch every
Honestly,
Thursday.
I'd rather have Nux and Animac talk over each other. I'll see you guys all next time. Oh, bang.
All right, all the links to everyone here is in the description. Follow us everywhere. Have yourselves the most wonderful evening, and remember to stay weird.
Fam.